Hello and welcome back to my RTS tutorial in Unity. Today we are starting on sort of integrating like the building of buildings with workers. So basically you click on workers, click a button to say, alright, you want to build something, select the building you want to build, click on the world, and if it's a valid location, the building gets placed and they go to build it basically. This is going to be in two parts. This first video will basically cover what you need to do to have the buildings be placed in the world and have the workers go to build it. And the second part will cover validation, like making sure that we have enough resources to build the building. Can we send units, like additional units, once we've placed the building and someone's started to build it and stuff like that? So yeah, let's just quickly demo this for you. So basically, we select these multiple units. There we go. Well, all right, so we've got a new option on the unit thing here for build buildings. So click buildings, so we've got choice 3 buildings, so we're going to make a storehouse. I'm just going to click here. You can see that if there is like some reason that we can't build it, so in this case it's going off the grid, it's red, which we did ages ago in the, I think it was in the grid tutorial actually, but yeah. So we click there and it builds the building and he will go to build it. And as you'll see, the building starts off fully visible, and when they start building it, it becomes semi-transparent. That's basically just in lieu of having an actual, like, in construction sprite of the building. Basically, once it gets to not transparent, so you can't see through it, the building's fully built. But the transparency was a good way to represent how, like, far along you are with the construction. And likewise, build another building, a temple, and build that in the middle of a farm for some reason, because why not? And yeah. Okay, and that storehouse has now been fully built, so hopefully, if we send these dudes to go get some wheat, they will bring it to the storehouse. And yeah, look, they do. And they go back, get some more wheat, and we can see that the food has gone up. So yeah, that's good. Now let's go see how we did that. Okay, so I'll just quickly show you the small stuff that I had to change before getting onto the meat of the code. First off, we've added a new awake method to the worker, which is a subclass of unit master class. Basically, we needed to change the my_action string to accommodate for building buildings. So basically, we added just another string into that array. We've also had to assign the basically, because in a unit master class we have the my health, my attack, and action skew and stuff. So basically, we had to redefine these, I think. Basically, because if we have an awake method in the child class, then we don't call the one in the parent class. So that's why we have that. And secondly, we have on the can we perform action, we added build building as a condition, and if it is, we return true. And yeah, that's that. Secondly, I believe, did we do something for the resource? No. Okay, my mistake. For the GUI manager, we have implemented basically. Previously, we had a GUI method in the building store, which basically drew a temporary set of buttons that corresponded to the different buildings you can build. So what I've done is I've moved the actual GUI component bit to the GUI manager, so we can draw it like where the unit buttons should be. But we've also added we've kept all the methods here just so we don't have to move anything around. And we've added a couple of new ones. So we have added set selected, which is basically just saying what building we want to build from the list of buildings that we have here. But since we are having the buttons in the GUI manager, we need a new method to say it because I believe it's not a public array or selected building or something. So we basically have a setter here. So we'll pass in a building and that'll be the selected building. So it'll be what the cursor for buildings draws and whatnot. Another method we added was a list, actually. We have a temporary store of workers. So basically, because how the selection manager works when it places building is it gets like all the tiles within this sort of grid of size that each building has. So if you look, it has a width in tiles and height of tiles. When you're placing buildings, it'll get a grid around the mouse cursor of that many tiles and put it in the selected, and that is what's considered selected while you're placing the buildings. So basically, we need a temporary store of the workers just so we can go back to them once we've decided where to place the building and say, all right, go build that building, all of those workers that were previously selected. If that makes sense. I hope it does. So yeah, so basically we've got two methods. One stores the workers that are currently in the that are currently selected, and the second method basically just returns the workers to the selection manager list and resets us to selecting mode units. Because yeah. Okay. The changes to, and I think that was the small ones. I can go over them in order. Yeah. Okay. So first off, we've added a new draw unit order button. So these are basically the buttons that are for correspond to orders. So like we did scouting, deleting units, and patrolling in a couple of episodes ago. We've now got one for building buildings. So if we click this building buildings button, for each worker, it will basically. Oh, actually, no, we don't need to store the workers. Sorry, that was a dumb mistake on my part. We only need to do that once. For each game object, we don't even need to do that. Sorry, yeah, that was me being dumb. I think I copied and pasted it, so that'll be why it was doing it a load. But yeah. We just need to do that once. So what we do is we store the workers. So we've got a reference somewhere else to all the workers that we had selected. And then we switch to selecting mode, start creating buildings. And that is in the selector manager. So basically, if our selecting mode is creating buildings, we basically just check for the left mouse click. And that is the method here, creating buildings, check for left mouse click. And this is this has been gone through in if I can just bring it up, so games, videos, there's a little bit ago when I did the tile system in Unity. I think it was the building placement episode, so you can go check that out if you want to, and all my other episodes and stuff. And yeah, so basically it just goes through, gets the tiles and stuff. Here. The main change we made was, I believe it was here. So I made one alteration to the code that I wrote in that previous episode there, the building placement episode of the tile system in Unity, which was that it returns the building, basically. So basically I changed it from a void to a game object, and we return it here. It's assigned here. That was already done in the episode, so we don't need to do anything. It was just simple, really. It was basically so we could pass it into the action building there. Yeah, so the workers would know where to go to build it. Yeah. So basically, like with the actions in the unit order script that we've gone through, basically saying if this location is valid for the building and we've clicked, we create the building at the location. We set the selected list of selected objects to be the workers, and then we just get all these workers, and we say, all right, if we can perform the build object action, or build building, sorry, then we add that, and we initialize the target with the building we built, which is why we have it stored here. Then we add it to the actions queue and enable it into, and we disable it. If we can't do it, we just destroy it. And one little thing I did here was, if you right click, it will basically just return the workers. So if I'll just show you that now. Yes, we've got the workers. Build buildings. So say we want to build a storehouse, but wait, we don't want to build it anymore. So we'll just right click, and it will return us back to the unit selection bit. Well, it will make them move for some reason. So yeah. I'll probably have to figure that out and fix it, which will be next time. Okay, so that's that. Once we've placed a building and we've said, all right, we want to initialize the target on this action underscore build building. So that's basically just a script that has two bools, one to work out to know whether we're at the building that we're wanting to build, and one to say, are we moving to the building? And then we have three private variables. One is the building, the actual game object of the building we want to build. One is the building script, and building pause is the building's position, or more specifically, it's the tile in front of the building. You know, because when we was a couple of episodes ago, we added a little method to get like the tile below the building based on the width and height of the building. So we could always have a reference to that building, but it would always be walkable too. So we wouldn't get any errors with the path finding and whatnot. So yeah, and we have a build timer, which is just a timer for the building, where we every half a second we add one more health to the building when we're building it. That's what that does. Okay, so first off, we have Initialized Target, which basically gets the building game object passed into it. So first off, we say it's a multi-part action. Building is the building we pass into it, and from that, we get the actual building script off the game object. And from that building script, we get the tile we are wanting to go to. And on our do action method, we basically check, so if we are less than 2.5 units away from the building, then we are at the building. But if we're not at the building, and we're not moving to the building, we set the unit movement script to move to that tile that we found that's one below the building. And then we set moving to building to true, because we only need to set moving to building once. So yeah. Otherwise, if we are at the building, so we count down the timer, and if this timer is less than or equal to 0, we will increase the building's health once. And we just have a debug.log that we don't need, so I'll get rid of that. That was just for debugging purposes. And reset the building to timer. The build timer to 0.5. So right now I've got it to, it should be 50 seconds to build a building, if I've got that maths right. Yeah. All right, and then to work out whether the action is complete, we return bl.built, which is a new boolean that I've created, put into the script, that I'll show you in a minute, which is basically is the building, has it been finished building? So that'll be when the building gets to its max health. And we also have the get action type build building. And remember, these have to correspond to the strings in can we perform action. So build building there, same as build building here. All right, now onto the changes to the actual building script. First off, just in preparation for next time, I've added these ints for the costs of the building. And we've got an int, so when a building is first created, it'll have 1 health and a max health of 100, and a boolean built, which is false. So basically, and we have a method to increase the building's health. So each time this is called, it will increase the building's health by 1. And if it's not been built and health is equal to max health, then we say, all right, this building has been built. We can use the built boolean. We're going to use it in the future actually to determine whether we can actually click on a building to, select it and build units. Because if we've not finished building the building, then we shouldn't be able to. So that's why that's there. Also, we have a separate method. So if we've not built the building, this basically just increases the transparency. So basically, we get basically just gives us a value between 0 and 1 based on the health and max health, and that gives us the effect of increasing the alpha while the building is built in scale with the health to max health, I guess. So yeah, so basically, since we're dividing 1 by 100, it'll give us a value between 0 and 1, which, funnily enough, corresponds to the alpha, which is also a value between 0 and 1. So we can just plug that straight in, and we got a nice transparency effect to show how far the building has progressed. the building's construction has progressed. Sorry. And I think that is it. No, I didn't show you the GUI manager for draw the building construction buttons, which I forgot. I apologise. So again, there are like a fair few similarities between the old building store on GUI method, which we saw here, but basically we've changed the button position to be basically just in that box we defined for like units, orders, and stuff like that. And what else? Oh yeah, this I had to create another method to set the selected building, because in building store, selected building is private. So in here we could just set it manually, like without having to access it. But since we're calling it from the GUI manager, we needed a public method to do so. So that's why we have that. And again, if we have more than 5 buttons in a row, we create another row. And we have a try and catch in case the building, for whatever reason, you might have like forgotten to put a building script on it or whatever. So that's why that is there. And that's it, I think. That draw building construction buttons is in the where is it? On GUI if statement. So if we're on selection mode, creating buildings, we'll draw the background of the GUI and draw the building construction buttons. And yeah. That is it. I should probably add some more cursors to the thing to like represent like building and whatnot. So that might be something for next time. But yeah, one more quick demo of what I did. So yeah. So as we can see, select workers, click build buildings, and we can build a building. The workers will go to it. And as the building's health increases and it gets closer to being constructed, the alpha value increases of the sprite renderer, and it gets less semi-transparent. Alright, cheers for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Go check out my stuff on Itch.io, the link is in the description. I was thinking of doing, like, basically I've been doing coursework. I made Omega Station, if you've seen that. And I was going to make a video on, like, I did an evaluation of it, so I got people to play it and recorded the results and stuff. And I was going to make a video on that, so look out for that maybe over the weekend or something. Yeah, got to play a lot of Quiet. It's my baby and stuff. I'll hopefully have that on Steam by the end of the year. Fingers crossed, and barring acts of God. Yeah. What else? What else? Okay, so yeah, next time we do more building stuff for validation, and yeah. Bye.